Welcome back. So I was gonna look at some more shallograms. I thought I'd look for some Hindi music. This is Lata Mangeshkar. Okay. So we're at 420. Maybe appropriate given circumstances. Okay. Anyway, let's check this out. So there's a divide here. Okay, this seems to... Maybe the chakras are there all the way over this side. So that's not quite in line like this. Isn't really in line, although these chakras are very much for this arc at the peak, which we've talked about how it has certain like energy rungs, like down through the chakras, through the top, through the side, through the bottom, and through 1/3, 2/3, or 1/3 and 1/3 from the center kind of thing. But having like different energy points that it like cracks can form, which means currents are flowing that way. So that there's a chakra there near this is of note. Okay, let's keep looking at this. This face is really interesting. I started glancing through and I got through these two pictures before I was like, wow. And that's as far as I got. So this side, again, has that. So maybe that's there? I don't know if that's there. No. The opening might be right above that, in line with that. Is that? That looks like there's an opening there. Over there that isn't visible really in that image. Because I think that... Although, actually, no. This reaches over to... Oh, yeah. To the opening. So that's the one we're looking at in the first picture. There's that thing. Okay, yep. So we're looking with the stone upside down and looking at this face over here. Seeing about to here. But anyway, really clear in this one is the divide between them. There's a divide here, there's a divide here, there's a little divide there, there's a divide there. So there's almost like energy levels. And if we look over here, it's not visible like in the in term really, maybe there's specks there. But this basically appears to continue over here because of this. So we have, in this case, this chakra is aligned with like this top, the top of this one, whereas the chakra here is aligned with the bottom of this one. So they're like aligned but staggered. And then this looks like if we just follow this upward this way, it kind of goes through the center of that one. Although it probably also like bends. Possibly it might bend to like a side energy over there. This up through here, so like the very far tip here, it goes to the very bottom of there. So the chakra there goes to the bottom. This top goes to that chakra, and then this far end goes to that bottom. So there's an energetic connection where this then extends a little further, and this one extends further. And then over here, this one's a little more difficult to, like, I'll see it as aligned so much so. Because it's kind of like this way. This kind of goes around. So if we imagine... Definitely has marks going like this, that whatever is involved this way maybe it does bend that way. To really go through the chakras and make this kind of have chakras maybe a little bit lopsided like the ones we looked at lopsided yesterday. Just like a part of a lobe forming there. With this little circle on the side, a divide, almost like a small lobe and a large lobe. Some across the divide where energy flows above and below, between. The surface looks like it has etches that go this way, possibly wrap around, definitely going this way here, up this way, but and this way. Unclear over this side. So this one, we don't see it yet, but it's really interesting. Notice how smooth it is, first of all. It looks like a typical shallogram in terms of just being like a smooth rock with a ammonite shape etched into the rock itself, where it has this spray going that way, this really strong line at that like point that where the top and bottom connect, very straight and strong, and then the portion extending to the far point, and then it has a opposing one starting to form over here. So it really looks like it's going like physically out of the stone through like these pores. Like this isn't flowing along here, it's flowing out of here, like erupting out of, but only out of the channels that it's able to get out of along this path. Where in this region it just has mass behind it, so it almost like funnels the current flows around it to a degree where it didn't even get through to etch it at all, but it etched the boundary. But as it flowed out into exterior pressure that then caused it to bend back but fan out, so it's like grew into this and started to etch into the surface here. Didn't get in, and then we see it as it is now. Something going on in there. Mind you though, like again, this shallogram is more than meets the eye. Another angle of it. Can see how pointy that side is. Let's see, this is pretty pointy too. Almost like it's sourced from a pointy source. Now we're kind of starting to see some anomalies in its shape. Nothing so clear yet. It's still very much just like a smooth rock. Now we kind of see it, this little weird shape here going on. And then there, dendrite. So this was like within a spiral eddy. If we go back to these groups, so here's lopsided ones like this, where they're not, the chakras are not aligned. We can see it tilted over this way. Like this, they're not really aligned, so it's possible a similar effect was going on in their instance, where the current flow is a little lopsided, angled. Pieces of ammonite though, so like this piece but where it has a dendritic structure still. It's just like one of these pieces somewhere from within a spiral, but that broke off, kind of like these. But in this instance, it has this. Very, very odd. It's almost like it really broke off and entered the currents and became a new shallogram to such a degree that it looks like one. Like from this angle, it looks more normal. Like I can find other shallograms that look like that don't have, they're just like flattened square rectangular rocks. They're not pieces of a ammonite spiral. So it really shows it experienced current flows after the piece was like formed, and like this one. Like, it looks a lot like this one, but this one doesn't. This is just like a disc that has ammonite structures in it, but there's not anything suggesting that it necessarily was a piece of an ammonite like this, although maybe it was a disc in a sense, where the discs that stack, like my floppy disk episode particularly, and I kind of talked about it recently. Another angle of it. Okay. This one, again, very similar to the last one in terms of it's just like something about it's smooth surface and not eroded, where it's just like this smooth black color. Can kind of see a little subtlety of the things going like that, just like subtle though. Starting to form a boundary here too for maybe something. Let's keep going with these images. There's a front view of that one, looking in there. Pretty typical. Very several layers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, possibly more. That's a lot. Sometimes there's only like 3 of these. I don't know why exactly. Plus it possibly goes further. I don't know. So this is the one that goes this way, back over this way, and then does that layering thing where even though the stone itself is shaped differently, like it has layers within it. Stone, like a round stone that has layers within it, or in this case like a disc that then has layers in it. Possibly related to some overall current flow that was present in each of their circumstances that was more pronounced, and able to like etch bars across the stone subtly enough that they had like actual cuttings. It makes me think of one of the sphere locations. I want to say Red Rock Coulee. Is that a place? Yeah. Reminds me of these. These will frequently actually be sheared, even like this one, like this. Reminds me of this. How it, even though they form as spheres or like spheroids, they then also have layers within them. very much like what we're looking at with this here and how this has happened in several shallograms I've come across. So then there's this layer that goes down that way. Just like a disc. Interestingly, this disc has this material going around it. This is the opposing face. So this disc, I guess, is related to this. When we look this here, we can maybe even see a little bit of the subtle, like, beginnings of what would have become dendrites. And, like, things going this way. Some teeth features here, maybe. More so visible up here, possibly. But only beginning to do it. Also with this anomaly then. Like, if this is a shell, why would it do this? Like, smoothly have this separation. It doesn't actually make any sense. It only makes sense for something like cutting the rock. And what that something is a current cutting the rock that's being forced under pressure down certain pathways. So this is the opposing face. We can also see possibly some kind of, I don't know, some, I'd like to say that I'm seeing a thing like going inward like that, but I'm not sure. I don't know why I would be doing that. I'm not like trying to make it like something I know about so that I can make sense of it. I'm just trying to match it to what I see. It might be there, hard to say. Okay, that's all of that one. Again with that structure, way more in disarray. You can more distinctly see the teeth over here. Like, it doesn't really make sense from a fossilization standpoint why over here would be these big teeth. Like, if you imagine a current coming out of an opening, like, what's it gonna do? It, like, the further it gets through some channel, it's especially as it approaches a exit point, it's gonna like push material out of the way and fan out a little bit more, and does so in like a pixelated way where there's like a stream here, a stream next to it, a stream next to it, so that there's actually like points between where it's not influencing it evenly, creating teeth. So it's creating these large teeth over here, but there are no teeth to be seen whatsoever along this boundary of this smoothened, like it's been polished by currents, because it's not been like polished. It's to be like removing the teeth from this structure. It's also rather smooth in there. We can see the features somewhat, but it's not nearly as shaped and etched as others we come across. Possibly due to the like shape of the rock, very thin and very large. Like, it's probably five times as long as it is high. So maybe something to do with that, or why that didn't really form that pronounced of a etching, but the structure itself is still there very well. Okay, we can kind of see this one's going out this way and then going out this way. Interestingly, it's doing this here, like fully forming the next loop and then forming another loop off of it. And typically, like this one should be growing more like that way. Typically, it would expand to like a larger one, larger one, larger one, and then at some point have a final chamber and get smaller back to this other side. I guess it's getting a little bit larger. Like this one's maybe that wide, this one's maybe like that wide, so maybe this one's a little wider. Also this going on there. Now they're over here. Let's keep looking at these images though. So that's that one we were just looking at directly on. Just the way it perfectly etches in non-symmetrical ways, which currents do, but fossils would not do. This is not the result of a fossil having all these anomalous shapes, and then over here it's much more just like eroded out, popped out. So maybe this side. Is it possible there's like one side that goes out here and then the other side from somewhere else, like over here, is wrapping over to there and etching in this side? Oh, I don't know. Another structure there. We can kind of see there's a bunch of them on here. That one. Okay, so this is the first one. There's that structure underneath it. Looks like it's spiraling around to like chakras here, I guess. Which possibly are in line with there. I don't know, depending. This, let's see, this goes to, I guess if I really try to do it right, there, maybe even going like the furthest slope though, like from this one to like over here somewhere. One. And then that way, it's hard because the rock bends, so it's like needs accounting for depending on the angle we're looking at it. You can definitely see some strong features across these two. Like there's a current going this way, across maybe this way, and then another current going across maybe this way. Generally speaking, like a larger currents beyond the rock itself that are then influencing its shaping and nature. This one's rather circular there. This is that one? I'm like, is this the same one? Its color changed so much in the pictures. This might be another one. This might be another one that I saved just to the wrong number. Is it this one? This has an E. It's gotta be from that shalogram It's gotta be. Where is it though? Let's find it. This is this here. Okay. There's a loop over there. That might be there as well. This. Here. No. I don't think that was that one. Yeah, it's this one. Different one. Okay, not the same one. Not the same opening. Possibly the same rock. This is interesting. What's going on here? Oh my god. Guys, look at how gorgeous this is. There's a chakra here, right? It goes down here, down here, down here, and like connects over here, down through here, energetically. I was hoping we could see that. Nope. To see where the chakra was, like if it goes right to like above the chakras. But that means this chakra has a chakra up here that we may not be able to see. Oh my god, just like point being, this right here, this has like a center maybe around which an ammonite shape is generally forming. But the thing is part of this ammonite is actually the undersurface of this is the chakra that goes to this. Like there's definitely another chakra there that we can't directly see it. Okay, there's that chakra. So when we look at this image, that chakra is like over there somewhere. Then there's that. Possibly that is the other way, isn't it? That might be the thing on the side. It looks like it's protruding outward here. Where this looks more like a concave. Another thing over here, that straight line across that can happen sometimes. Very, like in the back. Okay, so we got a chakra there. Definitely anomalous. Whatever is going on here is out of control, really. This is pretty mind-blowing. Like, is that... what? Where does that even come from? It's like right above this chakra. Maybe it's the end of one? Like there was a current outside of the rock itself because of all the turbulence around it. That it would have a chakra here, maybe a chakra right there, a chakra there. But a chakra like outside that had a spiral that was just pushing in here. and creating this like etched and compressed material that then removed the shale and left behind a more golden color. But really it was like a phantom because it was barely visible in the rock. I don't think it's like connected to this one at all. It also looks like kind of has like maybe there was a nucleus here type of thing. Where it was like spawning from there. I'd imagine we would see it more in the rock. Like over here. Some sign of it. Okay. That one is... Let's see. We also see this. Let's keep looking. This chakra goes down this way, down this way, down over here, but it also goes down this way, maybe? Because it has little teeth there. Although that would probably be more this way. Maybe that's related to this one. Like whatever this current's going across, this current's going across what's getting like out of here and not just spiraling around. And perhaps the two interact and create this other point between them that has the current this way from this one, but then like this one's overwhelming effects creating etches that way in that location, because this one is like secondary and energetic, like how strong the eddy there was based on just how many tiers this is. This looks like quite the chakra, quite the system over here, where this one's pretty small comparatively, but this is below this system, so it's kind of in like it's weak point, maybe like a point where it's not emanating to as much, so maybe this, whereas this one like is emanating in that direction more so. Like this is more so this way and through the chakra, like along those axes. This way and then this way. So it's kind of like going over there. It's possible. I don't know. Just a thought. Let's keep going though. Let's get past that one. Kind of pillar-like in there, even though we can see the nucleus and the chakras a bit more than a lot of times. Maybe distinguishing how the pillars happen. It's incredible. I don't know what to make of it exactly. It's like a chakra was forming on the top here that then was spiraling out and getting physically underneath this slab. Like it was lifted enough from the rock, that current that was getting like swirling here and essentially finding ways out by going underneath the current swirling, by then etching channels, but then it like exited over here, but over in this length, perhaps it got under. Like, it really looks like it got under based on this. Like, it went under and came out. Came out, came out, but then down here it really came, like, opened a gap. Possibly continue to get into the rock too over here to create that. I don't know. Just some features that are interesting. Some teeth. Da-da-da. Lots of connections and things chaining together the little nuances of this rock. This makes no sense from a fossilization standpoint. No sense. There's some teeth over here forming, some things over there. Just always slices bending. Kind of like that bending chakras I was saying. This one is interestingly like that one we saw couple images ago. Not a couple images ago. I'm just out of it, I guess. But the one that had the side like this, and then a line down the middle, and then a smaller thing. Kind of like this thing, a line down the middle, although it bends. Like, but down the middle, around here, around this middle. Regarding this thing over here as like a counterpart. Where maybe the current flow mostly just got through and etched the stone. However exactly it pathed, I would guess this way, but this looks more like it went this way. And under and out that way. It came in this way, ran into resistance and deflected. And in so doing, created what was the beginning of an ammonite shape that it didn't etch any further. Not sure why it would do this shape over here. Maybe forming more circular, like a node, like a mass. It's almost like forming a etching over here and a mass. Like, that's the thing that happens in like along boundaries, where there's like a boundary like this, and then there's just this like huge mass of like a batholith, like a mountain, in a way where the mass, a volcano, is like an energetic coupling between the boundary systems, the two systems across the boundary. But it's more like within one of the systems, it's like an electron kind of thing. Maybe I can pull up an example. I'm trying to think of a good example. Maybe. Let's check out Upheaval Dome area. No. I was thinking in the western United States over here. Probably whatever this is, Mount Rainier. Olympic. Where's Mount Rainier? Here's a little circle, larger one still, larger one still, ish, like in terms of the eye to eye and Snake Eyes videos, like there's an energetic presence of actual things here that are like nodes. There's maybe one there that are like actual couplings between systems. Maybe there, like at a boundary. That's probably a good example. Possibly with like a void behind it. Anyway, before I get too distracted on that, how's this going? Okay. I hope it's working out. I know there's some singing in there. It sounded pleasant. Okay, lots of just slices and dices. It's just incredible. I don't know. It makes no sense for Erosion to do this, to create this large thing here. Small things, small threading, like of just this narrow threading, and then large chunks. Like currents can do that because that's what currents do. It can go a narrow channel and just make it out that way as like this narrow current, or it can like shove out enough space where like chunks are missing. But it's in this wave structure that's not like uniform. It's very like different in the wavelengths, showing like there's things going on energetically. It's not just peacefully existing. There's some turbulence and interactions. This looks kind of like a lobe of a shalogram. I'm not sure if it necessarily is related to some other aspect of the rock in that way. This even has shalogram lobe type of the W shape that can happen around the dendrites type thing going on. I don't know if it's almost like it was trying to form ammonites, but it just couldn't like do it. So it ended up just etching the rock. I don't. That was this one still. So the other face of this has that. This. These things are out of control. It looks like two separate rocks. This. So that's the opening right there. Opening. So that, like, don't see it whatsoever. So then there's currents, like, possibly going into the rock here, and then into the rock, and then out of the rock through these channels also. At times. Maybe not every instance of these is, like, from the other side of the rock and just, like, being emitted. But it's possible that at least one of them, or some of them, are related to the other side. Because I wasn't really thinking of the other side when looking at this face. Definitely looks like it was trying to form some chakra system here. Like sideways. Maybe with like a nucleus there, like a disc. Possibly related to a current drilling into the rock. Maybe it, like, a current came in there and went into the rock somewhat, but also, I don't know if it went through. Possibly into that chamber. Like, into there. And ended up at creating the ammonite structure here. And then I guess it's possible. Hard to say without seeing the rock, so let's just say not. But this looks like maybe if it was spiraling this way, then it would kind of make sense that it would contribute to this if it was a larger eddy or influencing a larger, I don't know. It's also some kind of like layer here below it. It's pretty relatively parallel, but forming like an ammonite shape. That's pretty parallel, I'd say, like throughout the whole length of it. Not completely, but enough that like it's odd that there's some beginnings of an ammonite forming here. There's some subtle features of an ammonite here with this weird parallel aspect to it, as well as down here being relatively parallel. And then, interesting, like if we go across this way, and then across this way, it divides kind of around this region where this lobe is. I put all my shalogram. I resequenced this. Shalograms are not fossils. 1, 2, larger than life, Himalayas. These are just the earliest ones. And then this one is the first, like, edited video, really, that I did on them. And then these are all the ones where, just like this one, where I just talk about shalograms. I put them all together. I have like 40 hours, probably. All these to here. And then the rest of them, like, relate more so relate to shalograms. So I reordered them because they were pretty much just in the number order that I uploaded them to here, but I hadn't taken the time to front load the ones that are just shalograms. So anyone interested, I got like 40 hours of just Shalagram discussion in this playlist. Okay. I only made it through 4 of them. 20, 21, 22, 23, 5 of them. I can count. Okay, so let's keep going. This is number 6, so that's 10 minutes per Shalagram. I was wondering how, I mean, 40 hours, I'm at 420, 425 now. That's about 10 minutes a Shalagram. No, 6 minutes? 10 an hour? About 10 an hour. So 6 minutes a Shalagram. I'm below average in this one then. Okay. On average. That doesn't make any sense for an Ammonite to have, but it really, like, obviously, this comes off this way. Continues this way, of course, but also, like, we can see it kind of, like, extending, like, this way, and especially that way. Like, getting over this mound, pretty much, and then influencing this region. So perhaps there's multiple directions of flows, like we've talked about in the past, at play, in like from this angle and from this angle. I don't know. Creating a sort of pinch point with this space between. Also down here, that's just the way this is. And kind of like flows in, and then is part of, and then is connected. Just the way this is in general. Where's the rest of the Shalagram? It just, the Ammonite, it's always a broken Ammonite. It's always a broken shell. It's just missing this chunk. Well, it's over here. If we could, like, open these things. Not that I would... If there's some way to x-ray into rocks, like this one, and, like, or whatever, to look at the innards of a stone like this without, like... having to destroy it in any way, damage it. Also over here, it kind of just fades out into this anomalous shape. These are very, like, gear-like looking teeth. Because they are gear-like, literally. They're the gears of the universe, really. When this is known to be how atoms are, and how, like, galaxies function, that there's actual gear-like aspects that the spirals form to, like, interact with its environment because it's like a gear. Makes me think of, I was just listening to Joe Rogan last night with Stephen Meyer. I'm not sure. Recent episode about intelligent design. Why was I going to talk about that? I forgot. Sorry. Literally forgot what I was talking about. Too high. 2 inches out of it. I haven't been doing this. I confess, I'm just kind of doing this because I feel obligated in some way right now. Like, I gotta make it to 360. I gotta keep putting out content. I was thinking about looking around the earth, like the whole momentum I had is gone. I've just been playing video games to like distract myself and pretend like my life isn't in ruins, because playing video games helps that. Anyway. And weeding the backyard. Okay. Let's just scroll through this one. Okay, that's all of that one. So it's nice and smooth on this side, which is the bottom then, I'd imagine. Just a, yeah. Bottom, this is probably the top that maybe pulled over here and wasn't like so able to flow the material itself over to the chakra, so it ended up just having like water flows that ended up etching away the top of this in a way, so it's just gone, but smooth over. It looks like a current went across here, possibly wrapping around even. Okay, let's see. It's another one with like a chunk. Also, it has this weird, almost claw. It almost looks like a claw. Like a crab's claw. Arm. This shape here, we can see this little line going through here that then continues over here, where there's these indentations into the structure. I don't know what to make of that exactly. Probably some cross current, and then a current that was flowing this way to like feed into this mound, but this mound was getting eroded at the same time, so it had like a thin channel at the center to connect the feeding across here. Wow, some cross current went that way. Oh, unclear. That's incredible. It really does have like a claw shape there. What? It's separated. Like, I guess it's eroded. I don't know. It's just kind of more eroded, like over here, and around it, and these little adjacent circular features. This one's cool. It's like the most basic kind of hologram is kind of just like a half of a small disc one, but this one's got lots of features that are, whoa. That's the bottom face. Very smooth, shiny, rough. Possibly because of the maintenance of the shallogram, the things that get put on shallograms. Possibly where this face just wasn't given as much attention or something. But it looks smoother. just doesn't have a nucleus either. Like it kind of goes towards one, but it has an overall disc-like shape that has like a hexagonal top though. And side maybe. Possibly over here a bit too. With a bulge. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Just thinking what they could represent in atoms. Two little things going on over there. Chakra there. It's almost like a seat. Like a beach lounging chair or something. Without the support. Guess that only has 3 images, so this is pretty much that one. Okay. I mean, just the mere fact that this is there is anomalous enough. How are we doing? Okay. Okay, dudes. That sounds good. I'll just stop there. I know I only made it through a few. 8. But, you know, that's kind of makes sense given it was the 420 episode. Maybe I should have had my You Burn shirt on for this one. Damn, I almost feel like I should redo the whole episode for that. Darn. Well, thanks for watching. See you guys soon. Peace.